In today's episode of the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast, Missionary Mike and Tyler Reveles go over the Week 12 waiver wire, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and defenses. Trace. Here we are on the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Missionary Mike, and I'm here with your boy T, also known as Tyler Reveles. His name is Tyler Reveles. We're going into Week 12 waiver wire. We're talking about quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and defenses, all in this episode today. So, if you want to get some information, I know we're late in the season, but if you got a 500 record, you just got to win a couple games, playoffs. Check your standings. You'd be surprised. There's a couple leagues where I'm like, there's no way. But I do have a way of winning because we got a little bit of time left to win. You can do well. Okay?
So you're
do you
saying
believe in
there's a chance.
Yeah, so there's a chance. So don't give up. You got this. I believe in you. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say on that because I don't want people to get discouraged. Are you excited for Week 12 of the NFL? We got Thanksgiving games. Those are always fun.
Yeah, we'll have a Thanksgiving episode over there.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure if the snare in my headphones is on or not, dude.
Snare in your headphones should be on.
Dude.
It should be on. That's on you.
Dre probably
unplugged it.
this up, dude.
He probably did. But do you want to get into it? Anything you want to say first?
Dude, just fantasy football is weird.
Why? What happened?
I was in a matchup this week. The guy accidentally started Lamar Jackson, and he was texting me the whole time like, "Oh, bro, you're only gonna beat me because I didn't start Lamar Jackson because he was a late scratch. So you got him to 0."
Yeah.
And this is before the afternoon games where Dak played, and it's just crazy. At one point, I texted him and I was like, "You didn't start a quarterback that actually played, and he has more points than Dak Prescott right now." Because at one point, Dak Prescott had negative points.
Yeah, it's like every other week the Cowboys. I don't know.
So it's just crazy how fantasy football is sometimes. I mean, look at the Dan Arnold thing that happened this weekend. I mean, since he's been with the Jags, he's led the team in targets. It was a money matchup against the San Francisco 49ers. Good game script. They're behind. They have to throw the ball.
Then just
what does he get? 0 targets? 0 targets, 0
receptions, 0 yards.
It's just crazy. I mean, fantasy football, we try our best to, basically what we're trying to do is predict the future. I mean, at least for me personally, I always say it, men lie, women lie, the numbers don't lie. So I always try to follow the pattern of the numbers. You got to base it off the matchups. But even then, like I said, Dan Arnold, good matchup, doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is the highest over-under of the week, in terms of gambling on the point spread. I think it was like 57, 58, somewhere in that area. You're thinking this should be a shootout back and forth. I mean, obviously, Amari Cooper gets, COVID and CeeDee Lamb goes out with concussion. But, I mean, Dak Prescott, nothing.
Yeah.
So it just shows you how crazy fantasy football can be. Sometimes you think you got it all figured out, and life just wants to.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal: is like
right in the face.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a proven thing. You can't predict everything. Football is weird. There's a lot of people on the team. A lot of stuff happens. I mean, it's like last week. Was it last week? Kadarius Toney one target.
Yeah.
This week, 12 targets.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. The only thing that's guaranteed, if you use the promo code AVG. And they'll match you $100
on Underdog Fantasy.
On Underdog Fantasy Football. That is guaranteed. There will be no flubs there.
Go to your app store, download Underdog Fantasy, use promo code AVG for up to $100 a match.
Right there, tripping on the bottom.
Your first deposit, it's pretty sweet. I ended up putting some money in, and
sign up.
It's pretty easy. A little best balls, a little DFS, daily fantasy sports. So if you're, say you're out of your league this year, go ahead and do that. And you can play fantasy still.
That's what we like to call in the biz a lock.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the waiver wire. Let's talk about it. Are you excited? Because I sure am. Let's go to our boy Killer Cam Newton for the quarterback position. We'll start out. Cam Newton, it's just he's got the rushing upside, right? I mean, that's the move? Cam Newton forever?
I mean, yeah, we talked about Cam Newton
last week
on the Waiver Wire episode. We even talked about him on the starting sit-ups. We said, I was like, hey, I know it's been a while, but he's back, first game back in front of the Carolina Panthers fans. Like you said, Mike, the safe rushing floor. I thought it was a good matchup against a bad Washington defense. And, I mean, he comes out and he gets you 26 points. Gets two passing touchdowns, then it gets you 10 carries for 46 yards and a rushing touchdown on the floor. So, back-to-back games with a rushing touchdown. This is what Cam Newton is. I think he finished as the QB4 or QB5 on the week. Yeah. So, I had Stafford in a couple leagues. I went out and grabbed him in like 3 leagues, threw him in there. He crushed it for me. He got like 26, 27 points, something like that. So pretty hyped with what I got out of Cam Newton. This week they'll be in Miami against the Dolphins. Dolphins defense playing a little bit better as of late. They're on a 3-game winning streak. But, with Cam Newton, the rushing upside's there. So it always helps, give him a safe floor going forward. So sure. I'd be willing to bank that he gets another rushing touchdown. Miami's rushing defense, not one of the better ones. And just as a Dolphins fan, for as long as I can remember, we've always struggled with rushing quarterbacks.
Yeah. It's just hard in general. Any team would, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think Cam Newton going forward is going to be a low-end QB1. And if you're in a double quarterback league, if he's your second quarterback, if you're able to snag him up, you're licking your chops right now. Licking your chops.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. This one's interesting. This next one here for the quarterback position, we got our boy Andy Dalton for the waiver wire. This is wild. 23 attempts, 11 completions for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions. Good for Andy Dalton. Threw a bomb at the end of the game to Marquez Goodwin. Wasn't good enough for the Bears to get the win, but it was fun to watch. So you're saying go pick up Andy Dalton?
This is kind of just like a deep dive. Depending on, I think the Chiefs are on a bye this week. I would obviously go get Cam if I could. If you have Patrick Mahomes, you're looking for a bye week replacement. But
yeah, it's going to be a rough week for me.
This week they'll be playing on Thanksgiving against the Detroit Lions. God, I fucking sound like I'm fucking terrible right now with my
It's
congestion.
okay. No, I can't. I literally can't notice it until you say something.
But yeah, he only plays half of the game, but he gets you 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Should be getting Allen Robinson back as well. I sound like I'm fucking holding my noses.
You keep saying it, nobody can hear it.
Go start Andy Dalton.
I'm the only person who can hear it.
Go start Andy Dalton.
You're the only person who can hear it.
Pick him up.
But yeah, just kind of, this is good for if you have Allen Robinson. I'm pretty hyped if you have Allen Robinson because we actually might be able to see a good Allen Robinson game.
You kind of like – you've made this happen. You said this last week.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, man, I'm praying that Andy Dalton comes back in. And he came back in. You said it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously Justin Fields gets hurt. That's why he's out. But, yeah, I think this does help boost Allen Robinson's value going forward. And then it's a good matchup against the Detroit Lions. So, sneaky DFS play, double quarterback leagues if you just need to pick someone up and stream them. Like I said, you got Mahomes on a bye potentially, so I'm not mad at this matchup right here. And we saw, how good Mooney could be. We'll touch on him in a second, but yeah, I'm mad at Dalton.
Yeah, very good. Okay, let's go on to the running back position. We got Devonta Freeman for the Baltimore Ravens. This one is, I don't know. I've sworn off the Baltimore Ravens backfield for a while now, but sell the people.
Since Latavius Murray went out a couple weeks ago, obviously Murray came back, but they released Le'Veon Bell, but he's played 58% of the snaps in 3 straight games. So, Mike, you always have, your famous line is it's the consistency.
Yeah.
For you. So the consistency here of him seeing 58% of the snaps, getting 10 or more carries in all 3 of those matchups. as well. And then a couple catches out of the backfield just kind of has given him a safe floor. 10 or more points scored in 4 of the last 5 games. So he is the starting running back for the Baltimore Ravens. It's, like I said, they got rid of Le'Veon Bell. Tyson Williams is obviously just, I don't know, just a depth piece at this point in his career. Maybe he's just too young, and Devonta Freeman's just that savvy veteran. Obviously, Latavius Murray's going to get into the mix here as well, but it seems like Devonta Freeman is the guy that they feel the most confident and comfortable with in terms of being out there. And then, like I said, he's a capable pass catcher out of the backfield. So, yeah, he was available in like 60% of leagues. And, I always talk about it. You can never have enough depth at the running back position. Yeah, if you're telling me there's a starting running back on the waiver wire, I mean, I'm going to go out and grab him 1,000%. So, yeah, dial me up on some Devonta Freeman.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, that is pretty wild, the exact same percentage different every week. Like, it's even different numbers, 57, 42, 47, and it's all still, still good. Let's go on to the next running back here. We got our boy Tevin Coleman, Michael Carter. Obviously, that sucks. But so you got a couple different Jets guys. Do you want to just talk about both of them at the same time, or?
Yeah, we could just I would like to call this part of the episode. Let's go a little dumpster diving.
Yeah, sure.
That's what we're gonna do when we talk about these next couple of running backs here. We're gonna go a little dumpster diving.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said Michael Carter, the talented rookie out of North Carolina. Well, he's starting to kind of turn it on towards the tail end, or I guess in the middle of the season. Like I said, Mike said he got hurt, ankle sprain, I believe it is. So he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So that leaves the veteran Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson as well to be the guys here. So, I mean, for me personally, who knows how this backfield is going to get split up. I mean, you had Tevin Coleman saw 6 touches, and I believe Ty Johnson only saw like 2 touches. I think they split the snaps, though.
I could tell you
pretty evenly.
It's it was 28% and 28%. So 20, and they both had 20 and 20. Yeah. It's all 20. Actually, all of them had 20.
So honestly, I think this will be just like a 50-50 split. It's hard for me to really gauge which running back, Tevin Coleman or Ty Johnson, is going to be the guy. Only thing that I could say, noticing throughout the year, is that there has been a couple times where Tevin Coleman has been a healthy scratch. So they, for whatever reason, were just like, hey, we don't need you this game. Just got a mushroom right there.
Yeah, you're good. But yeah, no, okay. So that would entice you to possibly go Ty Johnson, because I'm over here like I don't know how I feel, because the only reason I was excited about Michael Carter is the fact that he was getting majority of the touches beforehand. He was getting over 50% snap share. So that was kind of the reason I was upset. I was hyped on Michael Carter beforehand. So now that Michael Carter's out, I don't know how I feel about both these guys. I think it is, like you're saying, 50-50. So, I mean, if you want, I think it's more of like a speculative thing. And if you want one of these guys, then go ahead. But I don't think it's not like a guarantee. We talk about these waiver wires, like, we talked about Khalil Herbert when David Montgomery went down, Damian Williams, that whole thing. It's like some of those guys were definite guys that are going to come in and replace that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this doesn't seem like it's that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I had to pick one between the two, Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson, I think I'm going with Ty Johnson.
I think I'm with you too.
Just looking at the numbers, since their Week 6 bye, he's had 6 or more targets in 3 of the 5 games, and that's kind of like the deciding factor there. It seems like, Tevin Coleman's a capable pass catcher in his own right, but it seems like Ty Johnson is like the third down guy, but also, a capable guy that can run between the tackles as well. Only gets you 1 target this last week with Joe Flacco at the helm. So I'm a little curious, is it because of, Josh Johnson stepping in and you had Mike White for, a little bit? Is it because those guys were in that he was getting so many targets out of the backfield, and then Flacco, who's, a journeyman quarterback, been in the league for, 10 years or whatever it is, he's not as likely to check it down as these other quarterbacks are? Could that be a scenario? 100%. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's only a 1-game sample size, but, I'm just going to go off the targets here that he's getting out of the backfield, and that's kind of boost it. The mixture of not only the rushing yards, but the receiving upside as well combined for Ty Johnson. So I would be, trying to get him over Tevin Coleman. But either way, it's a running back by committee on a bad offense. So that's why I was calling this segment Dumpster Diving.
Yeah, no, totally. Let's jump into, and by the way, I'm pretty sure that these next, this is funny. This is actually really funny. So let's go on to the next dumpster dive. We got David Johnson, and we have Rex Burkhead for the Houston Texans. Do you want to talk on David Johnson first?
Yeah, we can talk on David Johnson first. So the news broke today that they released Phillip Lindsay. The Texans released Phillip Lindsay. So at the beginning of the year, they had Mark Ingram. They traded him away. They had Phillip Lindsay. They cut him today. They have David Johnson. And, most people don't even realize, but they have Rex Burkhead, Sexy Rexy, a former New England Patriot as well. But, yeah, David Johnson comes out, gets you 13 carries, 3 catches out of the backfield on 4 targets. But it was Rex Burkhead who actually led the team in carries. He had 18 carries, I believe it was. Yeah, 18 carries, only 40 yards, so not very efficient. So
it's a good amount of carries, though.
This is another one where, Rex Burkhead's a capable pass catcher out of the backfield as well, with Tevin Coleman. Like I said, I'm calling this segment dumpster diving because it's like you're basically picking the bottom of the barrel for –
Yeah, one of these could work out. I mean, if something were to happen, obviously they're getting rid of people and whatnot. What's the best availability? That's like one of the best phrases in fantasy football. So, or for us, I guess. I don't know if we came up with it or if it. But anyways, either way, if one of these guys ends up being the guy, that sounds good. It's kind of very similar to the other one. And the reason I laughed earlier is because the Texans are playing the Jets in Week 12.
So, the dumpster bowl.
The dumpster duel.
Yeah, I mean, but David Johnson, if I'm picking one or the other here, I know Rex Burkman outsnapped him or outcarried him, but David Johnson 55% of the snaps last week against the Tennessee Titans. It seems like he's the guy who's been getting a couple catches out of the backfield. I don't know what they're doing over there. It's like, why would you get 4 running backs? Like they have four. They had 4 like.
They have Royce
basic
Freeman too.
Like basic bitch running backs, for lack of a better word. Excuse me, my language, but it's like I don't know what they're doing there. And then they're just like rotating them all in, and it's like, I mean, what are they doing? What are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, and they have Royce Freeman.
And it's like you traded for David Johnson. You traded D-Hop away basically, and you got David Johnson. Like, why wouldn't you just utilize him and just give him a full workload? Like, give him 20 touches a game. I don't understand it. If I'm gonna pick one or the other.
I'm going Johnson.
I'm going to go with David Johnson.
Yeah, me too.
Because I still believe, Rex Burkman obviously got more carries last week, but it was a positive game script. They were winning most of the game. But I'm not expecting the Texans to always be winning or on a positive game script. I think it was like some crazy stat, like the first time they were like winning a game since like week 2 or something ridiculous like that. But so yeah, if I'm going to pick one or the other, it's going to be David Johnson over Rex Burkhead for me personally.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. I'm with you there. David Johnson. Pick him up. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
This isn't a guarantee, though. This isn't like, play him.
Yeah.
Actually, David Johnson's probably a good play this week, honestly. But okay, let's move on past Rex Burkhead into the wide receiver position. Let's go to Van Jefferson for the wide receivers. Odell's there, but doesn't scare me. I'm the gingerbread man. I'm not mad at Van Jefferson. Oh, by the way, did you keep saying? I think you kept saying Rex Burkman, by the way.
Rex Burkman?
Yeah, I think
Rex Burkhead.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's okay.
Yeah, but Vans will make you dance. Van Jefferson, like I said, they got Odell Beckham Jr. there. Obviously he's probably going to get a little bit more incorporated off of the bye they had last week. So I'm expecting Odell to get more, acclimated and more reps, more routes, running all that stuff. But that could honestly only help Van Jefferson because when Odell's on the field, that's just another weapon that the defense is going to have to account for outside of Cooper Kupp, which is going to make Van Jefferson's life easy, in my opinion. I mean, the guy's been playing a ton of snaps. Last 4 weeks, 94%, 84%, 96%, 95%. So he's averaging over 90% of the snaps the last 4 weeks, and he's averaging around 7 targets per game during that span as well. So he's a wide receiver 3 flex option for me, honestly, in my opinion. And, if Stafford could just kind of get back to, being hot like Hansel as he was in the beginning of the year, because he's kind of had last couple weeks have been pretty tough for Matt Stafford in this offense. But, if they can get back on track, dial me up with some Van Jefferson as a, like I said, a wide receiver 3, or you're in a double flex league, or.
Yeah, Matt Stafford has been looking a little rough this week, or the past couple weeks. I'm not mad at this. 48% available or 48% rostered, so it's pretty widely available in most leagues.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Might have to go make a trade real quick, dude. Dynasty, Van Jefferson, who's gone?
I've been trying to get Kadarius Toney in Dynasty so bad. But let's go on to the next wide receiver position. We got your boy DeVante Parker.
Bro, I always got to find a way to throw a Dolphin in here.
There you go. Definitely. Let's talk about him. DeVante Parker. What's going on with him? Give me the insight. I want to hear it.
Yeah, so
because every time I look
just a
up,
name to monitor. I'm not going
My
crazy and
fingers
blowing
hurt.
any fab or waiver, but they're saying that DeVante Parker and actually Will Fuller could return this week. Which, as a Dolphins fan, I would be hyped. I think I said it on the last podcast, but I saw a tweet. When we were thinking about this Dolphins offense, in the offseason, what it could be, you were thinking about the possibility of DeVante Parker, Will Fuller, the rookie Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and Tua all on the field together. That was like the dream, the vision. They have played a combined total snaps 0 times. They have 0 combined snaps together, like that group, that unit together. So, as a Dolphins fan, I'm pretty hyped to see the possibility of finally getting Will Fuller on the field, finally getting DeVante Parker on the field with Tua, Waddle, and Gesicki as well, and seeing what this offense can do. But, Parker's been pretty solid across the board. He's had 7 or more targets in every single game he's played. He's had 75 or more receiving yards in 3 of the games that he's played. The 2 games that he didn't were with Jacoby Brissett at the helm. Obviously, Jacoby Brissett, not very good. And I know Tua gets a lot of slack, but I do think Tua is way better than people give him credit for. Very accurate.
He gets a
lot
of
and
flack.
we're just throwing the ball a ton. We're throwing the ball at like the 3rd highest rate the Dolphins are. I want to say we are. I think DeVante Parker is a sneaky ad. If he's out there, like I said, you don't have to waste a waiver claim on him. You don't have to spend a ton of fab on him, maybe $1, and you can grab him because this schedule down the stretch is pretty juicy. Carolina this week is pretty tough, but then week 13, the Giants is a green rated matchup. Week 14 is a bye, but then weeks 15, 16, and 17, you get the Jets, the Saints, and the Titans. Those are all green rated matchups as well. So DeVante Parker could be a sneaky guy that you pick up and stash, and he could be helping you win your fantasy championship down the run.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Hopefully Will Fuller can share some of his steroids and give it to DeVante Parker so he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next wide receiver. You ready?
Let's run it. Chris Brown.
We got Marquez ValdesScantling. If you played him this past week, you were pretty happy, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He gets you 10 targets, only gets you 4 catches, but 123 yards, and he gets you that long touchdown. I picked him up in a league. I was in a league where I have Calvin Ridley, he's out. Amari Cooper, COVID. There was another one that was like a late scratch, and I was just like, bro, I need to go to the waiver wire and just find somebody who's got a pulse that I can throw into my lineup and
Yeah, more than a pulse.
Yeah. With Alan Lazard being out, Robert Tonyan on IR, obviously DeVante Parker, Devonta Adams, not DeVante Parker. Devonta Adams is going to get his. I was just thinking like, hey, MVS has to step up and get some targets here and just kind of banking on the long touchdown possibility. He comes through for you if you started him. This week they're at home against the Rams. Are you buying into this MVS? Because I feel like
not really.
I feel like he does this from time to time, and then people go out and they rush to get him, and then he disappoints you.
Yeah, I think if this is what it is for me is like if you're in a situation like you were in this past week, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's other guys that I would go for as well beforehand, before I grab MVS. But And I would be happier if I grabbed a DeVante Parker over MVS, but I'm not mad at throwing him in here just because he is an option for you if you need a wide receiver. We got some buys. I look at that this week. I got Tyreek Hill on buy.
Yeah.
I'm over here a little bit hurt. So, MVS could be an option for me. And so in that regard, yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. It's kind of like that, when they say stocks, like when the stock is trending up and you buy it at the ceiling,
peak,
you buy it
yeah.
at the top.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you're doing right now if you go out and try to get MVS. You're buying at the top, and it's going to dip back down because, Allen Lazard will probably return. Randall Cobb wasn't really incorporated last week at all. So, I mean, yeah, can MVS come back out and have another game like this? For sure. That's what he is. This is who he is. He's a boom-bust guy. He's a Deshaun Jackson kind of type player where he's going to give you games like this, but then he's also going to come out and give you games where, he gets you 3 catches for 17 yards.
I heard he has huge upside.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go on to the next wide receiver. We got our boy Darnell Mooney. We like this Darnell Mooney guy for a couple years now, but Darnell Mooney with Andy Dalton coming out, how does that affect Darnell Mooney? Because we were talking about it earlier when we were talking about Andy Dalton. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, Darnell Mooney is a guy we were talking about in the draft season, and even in the beginning of the season, we're like, grab him, stash this guy. I mean, it only took
a couple weeks,
like 8 weeks to get there, but I mean, he's coming off back-to-back 20-point games in PPR. Monster game, 16 targets, 5 catches, 121 yards. Obviously, there's no Allen Robinson, so that is a huge, huge factor into why he had such a monster game. But, yeah, I do like Darnell Mooney, especially this week against Detroit. I'm not scared of Detroit's defense at all on Thanksgiving. So, yeah, if Darnell Mooney's out there, I'm definitely going out to get him. And he's one of those guys where, even if you have a ton of receivers or you have, like, your starters set, Darnell Mooney's a guy that I want to get, and I just want, even if he's on my bench, because I would rather have Darnell Mooney put up 30 points on my bench instead of someone else going out and grabbing him, and now I lose because Darnell Mooney scores 30 points. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, points on my bench don't hurt me. Yeah, it sucks that I didn't play him, but it doesn't hurt me. But now if you, Mike, go out and get Darnell Mooney and you start him against me and he scores 30 points, that hurts me. So I would be actively trying to get Mooney on my my roster if I could.
Surprisingly, in ESPN leagues, he's at he's only 53% rostered right now.
Yeah.
So might not be available in your league, but he's definitely available in some leagues.
Definitely.
Go get him. We going on to we got Michael Gallup, the wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, we had some people out. We had Amari Cooper out this past week. People were asking about Cedric Wilson, actually.
Yeah.
But Michael Gallup is one that I like. I actually liked him decent with all these guys healthy, but obviously that didn't work out. I like this, though.
Yeah, this one maybe, I feel like Mooney might be like long-term for the rest of the season. But, if I just need like a receiver this week, Gallup might be my number one priority in terms of the wide receiver position. He gets you 10 targets, plays 94% of the snaps,
That's
5
hot.
catches, 44 yards. Amari Cooper still dealing with the COVID. CeeDee Lamb with the concussion. I've seen mixed reports. I've seen that it's unlikely he's going to play, CeeDee Lamb. And then I've also seen that there's a possibility that CeeDee Lamb could play on Thanksgiving. So either way, Michael Gallup's still going to be out there a ton. Obviously they do have Cedric Wilson, but if I'm picking one or the other, and if I'm Dak, I'm leaning on Michael Gallup. I'm not leaning on
100%.
Cedric Wilson. And the Cowboys need a get-right game. That game against the Chiefs was embarrassing for them.
For the Cowboys and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
What was that game?
Yeah. It's always those games that are like the highest over-unders for Vegas and the point spread. They always go under.
Well,
every
it's like
time.
both those guys
every time, bro.
Like
every
I don't
time.
care what you say about like the Cowboys' defense has gotten better, but don't tell me that like the Cowboys have been letting up a lot of points in some of these games, especially going up against the Chiefs. You're like, okay, this might be the Chiefs should be scoring, and the Chiefs' defense isn't very good either.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
It's just like
what I'm saying.
It makes zero sense why I kept seeing them punting it. It was like 3rd and out. I'm like, how is Dak Prescott and Pat Mahomes both punt? Like, why are these guys 3rd and outing? Like this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm expecting him to get another like 10 targets. 8, 9, 10 targets in this matchup against the Raiders on Thanksgiving. They're at home as well. So, yeah, get right game for the Cowboys. They get back on track. And I think Michael Gallup is a big part of why they get back on track and win this game.
Yep.
Dial me up some Michael Gallup this week.
He
finished the top 30 wide receiver.
Top 30?
Yeah.
That's not a crazy call. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I'm going to say top 8.
I like it, dude. I like you. You're crazy, but I like you.
You're fucking crazy, bro. Okay, let's go on to – we talking tight ends? Nope, we're going to talk one more receiver. We got Elijah Moore for the New York Jets. We got a lot of Jets players this week, huh?
Yeah, if there's one Jet player that I'm really trying to get on my team, though, it is Elijah Moore, the rookie out of Ole Miss.
Crazy.
I mean, we talked about him last week. I feel like we talked about him the week before. And it's just crazy. Like, his roster percentage is still just, like, way down there. I mean, I don't know. It's insane. I mean, actually on Sleeper, he's, like, 97% rostered, which makes me think that people who use Sleeper are smarter.
Well, on Sleeper, I'm pretty sure it goes based on, like, how your league settings are.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure because, like, yeah, because that's a dynasty league, so I'm pretty sure it's similar.
So what
settings.
is he available on ESPN right now? Can you pull it up? Because I could have sworn it was, like, 50%.
Yeah.
Or like
I'll pull it
45% owned.
Yeah, he's only 40% rostered in ESPN leagues.
I mean, Elijah Moore from the Jets. Elijah
Mitchell
from the Jets. 10 or more PPR points in every single game, I believe it is. It's got to be 10 or more points since their week 6 bye. And he's got 2 20 burgers in there as well. I mean, you're just seeing what he is. You're seeing why the Jets went out and drafted him. And I've said it multiple times on previous podcasts. To me, at least, because we always break down the rookies coming into the season, especially for Dynasty. To me, personally, this was the best route runner in the NFL draft. I mean, I don't want to say Jerry Jeudy-esque, but Jerry Jeudy-esque is the best way I could describe it in terms of his route running ability.
You're being very disrespectful to my boy.
They do have Corey Davis, obviously. Jameson Crowder's kind of just, a journeyman on the tail end of his career. But, I mean, Elijah Moore is here to stay, and he's definitely going to be a name that you're going to be aware of and that you need to know. And, obviously, not enough people are aware of it because he's still over 50% available. But, I mean, the guy is out here balling. And, this week they're at Houston against the Texans. So a good matchup for him as well. So yeah, dial me up some Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I'm with it. Yeah, 40% rostered in ESPN leagues is pretty wild.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Of course,
for a guy
he's available in 0%
for a guy who, like you said, who,
leagues.
since his week 6 bye has had 10 or more points in every single game. I mean, obviously slow start because prior to that nothing, but he was banged up. And this Jets offense was all over the place with Zach Wilson. Was a rookie, and I don't know, just. Since that week 6 bye, he's turned it on, and he's kind of showed the Jets and he showed the league, why he was drafted as high as he was.
Yeah. Let's go on to the tight end position. We just got to talk about one man and one man only. It's Pat Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth is Pat Freiermuth. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Is he? I mean, because you put this in here, is he just super available still or what?
I want to say he was like 50% available or more when I was checking it.
He's roster percentage at 58.
Okay, so he's 40% available. I think on NFL it was probably about the same or 50%. But Freiermuth, a guy that we talked on last week's waiver wire, he was in the start 'em sit 'em. We said go out and get him. Obviously. Didn't have a good game week 10 against the Lions, but he got 9 targets that game. And, we said it. If you told me there was a tight end on the waiver wire that's going to get me 9 targets, like I'm going to go get that tight end and put him in there because 9 targets for a tight end is like gold. Yeah. It's like Bitcoin right now. It's booming. So, comes out this week, gets you 7 targets, 4 catches, only 11 yards, but gets you a touchdown. But that's what he wild. Is. He's this red zone weapon for this offense. And when they get in close, Mike, I mean, you're a Steelers fan. When they get in close, it's like Ben just looks for him.
I mean, we had a 4th and goal opportunity, and we did this. It was really dumb. It was like a really dumb play where we had, I can't remember who threw it, but it wasn't Ben. And they had someone throw it to Pat Freiermuth on the 4th and just totally missed the whole end zone. So that was ridiculous. But besides that, but that goes to your point, is like Pat Freiermuth is the guy that they look towards in those red zone positions. It's either Najee Harris jumping over the line or Pat Freiermuth with the little slant or whatnot going out, or whatever out route you want to call it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Pat Freiermuth is a guy that they target in the red zone for sure.
I like it. I mean,
so yeah, if he's available in your league, go pick him up for sure.
Another rookie that I think most people aren't aware of, but like I said, kind of with Elijah Moore, going forward for years to come, people are going to know who Pat Freiermuth is, and I think next year, he'll be drafted. He'll be being drafted in the top 10 tight ends, top 8 tight ends.
And guess what? Daddy has him in Dynasty.
Yeah, dude, he's snaked him from there.
Okay, first of all, that's not true. I saved all my money. You spent it.
I ran out of money.
Okay, let's go on to
auction drafts are fun.
I know they really are. Let's go on to defenses. We're gonna talk some defenses you can stream for week 12.
Oh, you didn't get my Logan Thomas one? It's not in there.
Oh, I didn't.
I will just touch on it for a second.
You want to touch on Logan Thomas?
Yeah, I want to touch on Logan Thomas. I mean, he's been out for a while with the hamstring injury, but the reports are that Logan Thomas has a good possibility of coming back this week. So a good grab and stash. I mean, one thing we've seen with the Washington football team is that whoever the tight end is they play 100% of the snaps. And, Logan Thomas had a breakout season last year towards the tail end of the season, comes out and gets banged up. But, I mean, Heineke's been balling. So I'm expecting, when Logan Thomas comes back, he just kind of steps right in, reclaims that role as the starting tight end for this team, and, he'll be a low-end tight end one going forward. So if you're struggling at the tight end position, I do like going out and grabbing Logan Thomas.
And that's the thing, too, is Ricky Seals-Jones was hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was I don't remember. But he wasn't out there. And then you look, like to your point, the 100%, John Bates, tight end, was on 99%.
So, yeah, it's just, whoever the tight end is, that's the guy.
Yeah. So Logan Thomas being back, he should be at 100%.
Yeah.
And then to your point, Ricky Seals, week 6, 7, 8, 100, 100, 100. Logan Thomas, 1, 2, 3, 100, 100, 100.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, let's go on to defenses that you can stream for week 12. We got the Eagles defense. You threw this one in here, playing against the New York Giants. I mean, Daniel Jones looks bad. You think they're going to draft a quarterback next year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think the Daniel Jones experiment is done with the –
I mean, it's bad.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. He's got these weapons. I mean,
he had everybody
except Kenny Galladay get one target?
Kenny Galladay had 2 targets.
It's
one
insane.
Reception for like 4 yards.
It's insane. You pay this guy $70 million and you throw him the ball twice.
And
what are we doing here?
It's like all underneath, and then he does like that. Remember when Jameis Winston would get tackled and he'd throw the ball like horizontal?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple plays where he was in the middle of being sacked and he threw the ball, and then like his arm like swung around and he threw interceptions. Like he just says that. I don't know. He just makes terrible. I do like those gunslinger quarterbacks sometimes. Actually, I will give Daniel Jones credit. In the first half, or the first quarter at least, he didn't look that bad. But then it got into that second half when they were chasing, and he just could not put anything together.
Yeah. I mean, granted, the Buccaneers defense, one of the better defenses in the league. He's on the road, prime time. But, I mean, he just hasn't looked good. And, he's got weapons. So it's not the lack of weapons. So you can't say, like, oh, he doesn't have anyone to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just don't get it. But, yeah, the Eagles, back-to-back games where they've had 10 or more fantasy points for the defense here. Back-to-back games with a touchdown. Darius Slay has 2 touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. But, yeah, they're going to be a division game in New York against the Giants. So, the Eagles, hot like Hansel right now. So, they're riding that wave, and I just think they continue that. And, Danny Dimes has been known to be a turnover machine in the past. So I'm expecting some more turnovers, some sacks here. So, yeah, I like the Eagles as a streaming option this week.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it too. Yeah, Yeah. Let's go on to the next one. Here we got the Chicago Bears defense playing the Detroit Lions. Tim, remember, were you there? Was I telling you or was I telling Dre on the live stream about Tim Boyle?
Dre, probably.
Oh, I think I was telling Dre. Is Jared Goff coming back?
So they're saying that Jared Goff has the possibility to come back, but even then, I mean, he's got the oblique strain. He hasn't looked very good.
Listen, it's a Thanksgiving.
They have no receiving weapons outside of DeAndre Swift and T.J. Hawkinson. Outside of those two guys, like, this team is just a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I said this last year and I'll say it again. The Detroit Lions have a Thanksgiving tradition of losing.
Yeah, definitely.
They have a tradition of losing on Thanksgiving. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be nice. So go take the Bears defense, get some nice points. First game of the week, Chicago Bears in Detroit. Detroit, the only thing they got going on is, I don't know. I really hope they enjoy that turkey leg before the game starts because that's probably the best thing that's going to come out of that game for the Detroit Lions. So, yeah, Bears defense been pretty good. You can stream start the Bears defense in a decent amount of matchups this year as well.
So yeah, I like the Bears defense. Like I said, it's especially if Boyle plays or Doyle or whatever his name is. I don't even know what his name is. That's
Tim Boyle.
It's crazy. I was listening to something else, but like he in like college he threw like one touchdown.
No, yeah. Well, he was at UConn, I think, and then when he was there, he threw one touchdown and 13 interceptions. And then when he got transferred, he threw. He got transferred into like a lower seed or division or whatever, and he threw just as many interceptions.
It's like, how did he make it to the NFL?
And then somehow he became the backup for the Packers. I watched this guy on TikTok talk about it, saying how it's like this isn't a storyline where he's gonna come out and win. Like, it's a storyline of the fact that he even gets to start.
Yeah.
But yeah, so playing against Tim Boyle if he's starting, even Jared Goff, Jared Goff doesn't look good either.
It just shows you how hard it is to be an NFL quarterback.
No, totally.
Like, it is hard.
It really is.
Like, I mean, what do we got? Like 8 billion people in the world or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But 8 billion people in the world, and there's probably.
Well, you got to count out
It's probably like what 20 good quarterbacks in the league. 20 like sufficient quarterbacks.
Well, you can't say that.
I'm okay with this quarterback being.
It's not like 8 billion people in the world all tried out to be quarterback.
But I'm just saying,
you also got to cut that in half because guys. So it's like 4.5 billion.
All right, there's 1 billion people out there, and like 20 of them are. So it's like 0.000. It's like a Shiba percentage of a player. 0.00016% of the fucking people in the world are good quarterbacks. Like that just shows you how hard it is to be an NFL quarterback.
We'll cut the U.S. population in half. So it's around like 200 million because it's guys.
I'm just saying, brother. All the people in the world, it's just that hard to play.
No, you're right. It is.
Tom Brady's just that guy. That's what you get for selling your soul to the devil. I digress.
Okay, yes. He made a sacrifice when he was a young child. Let's go.
Yeah, dedicated his years, blood, sweat, and tears into practice and dedication.
Yeah, that's hot. Okay, thanks for listening. This has been the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. Like we always say, subscribe, leave a rating and review on the Apple Podcast app if you haven't already. All that good stuff. Appreciate everyone who's joined and follows, subscribes. All of our social medias are in the link down below. Every type of anything you want to figure out the links are down below, whether you're listening on audio, on YouTube, any of that stuff. So go check that out. Anything else you want to say, Tyler, before we sign off?
No, we'll be dropping a Thanksgiving episode where we just kind of go over the Thanksgiving Day games. So keep an eye out for that. Just be something quick.
Yeah, sure.
Fast, just those 3 games. Go over some players that we like, some players we don't like.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening, and us big boys are out of here.
Bang, bang, chitty, chitty.
Bang, bang, bang.
This has been the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. Please leave a rating and review. Thank you.